All right. Okay, so first question, and it's a great question. What is the average year of experience for admitted students? Do you happen to know that number?
The average is somewhere around 12 to 15 years experience.
Wonderful.
We
Wonderful.
it's that's a little misleading. That is an average. We have a fair number at the 2 to 5 years, and we also have a fair number. Our I'll say professional experience greater than 20 or 25 years. A lot of different reasons why people come back for additional education, but generally the average is at 12 to 15 years.
All right. Next question. Does having a GRE provide advantage to candidates?
No, no advantage at all. I don't even look at it.
Uh, Tim, would there be any circumstance, like for example, if a candidate did not have a 3.0 GPA, where would there be a scenario where that would be possibly something that you could consider?
Absolutely. So the 3.0 is a guideline for us. We encourage people as part of the admissions process to send us a resume. And in some cases, we may ask for or they provide on their own letters of reference. So it has more relevance, I think, when you're a little younger than perhaps when you're more experienced. If you've been out in the workforce for 25 years, your academic work is less interesting. Your resume, your levels of responsibility, the actual job you've been performing weighs heavier for the more experienced. So I would say, 3.0, it's pretty close, but there are exceptions, and it's based on the experience that you have to offset. The most important thing that we're looking for academically is that you have demonstrated in the past the ability to handle demanding academics. So if your GPA is, a 2.0 or a 2.1, our experience has been that students will not succeed, and we want to make sure that you're going to be successful. So when we admit people, we totally have all the confidence in the world that they will succeed.
All right, wonderful. Thank you, Tim. The next question has to do with concentrations. Do you expect more concentrations to be available for the engineering management program in the future?
Yes, we're in the process right now of bringing on 3 additional concentrations. It's probably going to take us another 8 or 9 months before that happens. So we're hoping by next fall to have these online. The concentrations would be in space systems engineering, in systems engineering. We're also working on one for data sciences and perhaps health sciences at some point in the future. But, there's no guarantee. There's a lot of work that has to be done, approvals that have to be sought, and so forth. So the concentrations that we have listed now that are in the catalog are the only ones that are currently offered.
All right. All right. Next question. Do you have to take core courses before the rest?
Cheryl, that's a great question. No, you don't. You only have to take any of the courses that are required as prereqs before you take an advanced course or a 700 level course. So we allow the students as much flexibility as we can. So the courses are not designed to be offered in sequence. So to give you the most flexibility on when a course is available, when your time is right, when you're interested. So that's a long answer to a short question.
All right. The next question has to do with on-site coursework. Are all courses available on-site at APL?
No, in fact, only a couple, and they are offered in that virtual live format. So what a virtual live format is, we have an instructor or 2 instructors in a classroom actually conducting the course at a pre-arranged time, for instance, 7:30 on Tuesday nights. If the students want to attend on campus, they're welcome to. If they want to attend from at home or where their workplace or wherever, they're welcome to do that too. So it's offered in sort of that live/remote simultaneous context. We have no courses in either one of these programs that are offered exclusively on site.
And everyone, if you have questions about the course modality, you can find there's some great information on that on our website. If you go to our website, ep.jhu.edu, and click the programs tab, that'll give you the full list of our programs. Click on engineering management or technical management, and then click on the courses tab. And next to each of the courses names, it has a series of icons. The orange laptop means that it's online, and the orange, it looks like a little house, means on site, and then I believe the VL in the circle means virtual live. So Tim, if it is virtual live, it is located at APL, correct?
Yes, that is correct, Cheryl. I should have said that. Excellent point. Thank you so much for that.
No, absolutely. The other way that you can tell what courses are being offered in a given semester is if you, in the same section, you click the button that says course schedule search, and that will bring up our course schedule search tool, and you can plug in whatever program you would like, hit search, and it'll give you a listing of the courses that are available during whichever semester that you choose. The current semester, I think right now it would show you the fall semester, because we're in the fall semester. After October the 25th, it will show you the spring semester. So, all right, next question. Okay, this one is a great one. It again addresses admissions requirements. If someone, this particular attendee does not have a technical degree, they come from more of a business background, but work in a technical field, and says here, and mechanical by trade, are letters of recommendation or interviews helpful?
Yes, they are. The resume is most helpful. A letter of recommendation would be helpful. Always happy to take a phone call or an email with me directly, but we would look at it on a case-by-case basis. So if this degree or one of these degrees is what you think you might need, I always encourage people, just call me directly. Let's have a conversation and let's see if this is really, best suited for you. Only in the sense that I can provide you additional information. It'll have to be your choice, of course, whether or not you think it feels right. But we have a lot of people, maybe not a lot, but we definitely have students that are in other fields, but they find themselves doing technically related work and have found this particular degree, particularly the technical management degree, to be very useful. I would just add to that if you don't have a technical background, the technical management degree is likely the one that would be best suited for you. Those concentrations in the engineering management are really designed to accelerate your education in a technical field to an advanced level. So if you don't have that background, that's unlikely to be well suited to you.
All right. Give me one moment. I'm going to read a couple questions and there are a couple of duplicate questions that have come up. Here's one question. Can you start without choosing specifically technical management or engineering management? Could you start in one program and switch between the two, or just start and decide later what degree program to participate in?
Yeah, that's a great question. The answer is no. You're actually admitted directly into a program. On the engineering management side, you actually go through two admissions processes. You have to be admitted on the engineering management, and then for the specialty or the concentration you're looking at, you have to be admitted for that as well. On the technical management side, you have to be admitted with a focus area, and that's what starts you down the track. If while you're undergoing your academics, you have a change in direction, a change in goals, then we always encourage you to work with your student advisors and see if there's an appropriate adjustment that can be made. In that case, if you were to make the change, we would also go through the admissions process. It would be abbreviated, obviously, because you're already enrolled, have academics. We already know that you're being successful. But we would want to make sure we had the conversation because you may end up having to take more than 10 courses if you change your major or you change your focus area or your concentration once you've started the program.
All right. All right. So we have one question from an attendee, kind of specific to that question, that attendee, but has to do about visas. And I just want to reiterate that unfortunately, students cannot study on site with us on a student visa. So if you are thinking about switching from your current visa to a student visa, unfortunately, you would not be able to use that visa and study with us in these programs. Hopkins, we do offer full-time master's and PhD programs. Our full-time programs are based at our Homewood campus in Baltimore, Maryland. And we have a large number of international students studying with us in those programs, many of them on, presumably they would be on student visas. So if you'd like more information on that, I'm happy to send that to you. Tim, do you
Yeah.
have any other insight?
No, that's excellent. There is not a residential program for technical management. In fact, this is the only technical management in the country. The engineering management side, there is a companion residential program. It's the Master of Science in Engineering Management, MESM. Dr. Pam Sheff is the director, but the information, as Cheryl said, is on the website. They do it as a cohort of 18 to 30 students every fall, and it runs 18 to 24 months, and that is a fully immersed program, and a large student body, portion of the body are actually international students.
Thank you, Tim. This student has questions regarding job prospects after completing a master's in engineering management, and I think this would be a great opportunity to maybe talk about how our alumni are using their degree. Tim, thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. So the prospects are exceptional. The data is showing that the demands are high. The Bureau of Labor and Statistics estimates by the year 2023 there's going to be an increased demand now of 32% over professionals with this sort of a background. We have alumni that are currently serving as CEOs, CIOs, CTOs, program managers. They're in government, they're in industry, they are in small businesses, they're in startups. We have, as you saw in one of the focus areas, an innovation track. It really is a degree that's in high demand that directly correlates to advancing people in their careers professionally. And we do have connections with those alumni. During the course of your work, we generally have 2 instructors for every class. And so in addition to your colleagues, where you'll instantly expand your network, you'll get somewhere around 20 different instructors and their access to their networks. And well as there is an annual program we're working on now to bring alumni together so that we can just make sure that we have the opportunity to continue to learn and grow with others in our field.
Wonderful. Tim, the one I think that you touched on the beginning, some of the differences between engineering management and an MBA. Can you maybe repeat what you said for attendees who joined a little later?
Yes, sure. So absolutely. So, an MBA degree is a business degree. It has a lot to do with business analysis, being able to understand financial trends. There's a lot of accounting and finance aspects to that. And it's used in large measure for people that are doing consulting work, or they're working directly on programs that are tied to finances. Engineering management, on the other hand, is about leadership in the technical fields. There is obviously a business component to that, a finance component, but it's limited by what you need to know in terms of contracting, in terms of finance, in terms of accounting, so that you can carry on an intelligent conversation with a financial analyst who's helping you with your technical program, but it's not to actually do financial analysis yourself. We want to educate you, we want to inform you, we want to make sure that you know enough of the background, the data that you look at when you're making decisions makes sense to you, but you don't actually have to build the watch. So in this case, the engineering management would be aligned for someone who is a line manager, generally working on technical programs at either system or component level, and that program will help you to do that kind of work. So that's the distinction. It's not really an engineer's MBA, because we don't spend the time doing the deep financial analysis, because that is not actually what engineer managers do.
All
Does that
right.
help, Carol?
I think that was a great explanation. Thank you so much. This attendee has asked, are there options for deferred billing and or partner organization discounts for prospective students that have tuition reimbursement through their employer? So, Tim, do you mind if I answer that question?
Yes, please.
All right. So, what I'll say is that if you are planning on using so, typically tuition benefits are tuition assistance and tuition reimbursement. So if it's tuition assistance, there's a form that you fill out, and student accounts kind of works directly with your employer. And that's not something that you necessarily have to worry about. You have to make sure that you fill out the necessary paperwork, and then your employer kind of takes care of the rest. For tuition reimbursement, basically what normally happens is that you have to upfront pay for the course, and then depending on the grade that you earn in the course, your employer will reimburse you. A lot of employers require you to get like a B or better. And so what I'll say about that is that no, we do not offer a deferred tuition plan for those particular students. I will say that typically tuition is it's required. The deadline for payment is towards the beginning of the semester, and we expect students to pay in full. If for some reason you can't pay at the beginning, I discussed at the beginning how there's not a lot of fees. Another fee, I guess that we charge, it's a late tuition fee. So there is a fee if you pay late, but it's only incurred once. So I mean, I guess if you wanted to defer it, you could pay that fee and then defer and pay afterwards. But I would really just encourage you to pay it all in front. So, I hope that answers your question. When I first read this question, what jumped out to me was partnerships and discounts. And what I do want to say is that we are always looking for opportunities to partner with industry, with companies to help kind of them in their professional development of their employees, to strengthen their business through the education of their employees. So for example, we do offer a tuition discount for Boeing employees as part of a partnership that we have with them. And with various different companies, we do have cohorts of their employees kind of progressing through different programs together as a unit. So if that is something that you think that your company would be interested in, please reach out to me. Please reach out to Tim after the presentation. We would love to help explore that with you. All right, next question. Speaking of reaching out after the presentation, Tim, how would you like people to contact uh, if they have follow-up questions, or if they would simply love to chat with you more?
Yep. So I offered you my email, Collins Tim, Collins Tim at jhu.edu. And once we're connected on email, I'll be quite happy to pass you my phone number or direct line right to my desk, and we can look forward to talking with each other. It's probably best to schedule something so we don't waste your time trying to catch up. So why don't we make the initial connection on the email, and then we'll take it from there. But quite happy to talk with anybody about any question they have or your own particular situation, or if you're just trying to compare what these programs are compared to something you're looking at another school. You know, higher education is all about building leaders, and anything we can do to help America build those leaders, you can just sign us up to that.
All right, this next question, is student information shared so that they can study or work together? Tim, do you want to talk about collaborative projects within your courses? How they
Yeah,
work?
so yes, I'd love to. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you for the question. So most of the courses have assignments or projects that are designed as teams. Of course, as an engineering manager, you're leading teams. So we like to make sure you get as much hands-on experience as you can throughout the program, while we can try to offer you the benefit of some of the experiential knowledge of our faculty to prepare you sort of now for what you're going to do later. You know, it's been said that champions aren't made in the World Series. They're actually made on the practice field. So we view the entire program as the practice field. So we do focus a lot on teams.
And typically these students, they correspond with each other inside of the online classroom environment, correct?
Yes.
Within
Yep,
Blackboard.
that is correct. Or Zoom. You know, we have technologies that are available. We have rooms that are set up in the virtual space so that you can work together. You can come together, you know, at whatever your schedules are. Many of the students, of course, are spread around the country, some cases around the world. So the students have to find times that, you know, fit everyone's schedules. So we do provide the resources for you to get together, just like we're doing here, where you can share screens, you can have video, you can have full audio, and it's just like sitting next to somebody. In today's global environment, this ability to interact, to solve technical problems with colleagues that are not co-located with you is a very real challenge. So we like to work on that and iron all that out, get all that practice taken care of now so that when you're out there doing that, you know exactly what technologies will work. You have a feel for how to work them, and we think that'll make you more productive in actually completing your technical work.
In terms of sharing outside of Blackboard, we do not typically share student contact information with other students. That is for, you know, your own personal privacy and security reasons. We won't share your information, you know, obviously without your permission. That being said, you know, a number of students will on their own share their contact information with each other, so that they can, like, if you are working with a group in one course or with another student, and you really enjoy working together, you know, oftentimes students will exchange their contact information and then register again together in future courses. So that is, you of course are welcome to do that if you are interested.
Yeah, and Cheryl, if I may just add to that, you can expect all of your interactions with the faculty will be through the Blackboard, through Outlook, using our JHU accounts.
Thank you. Oh, this is a great question. Okay, so being out of school for a while, I'm new to, e-learning, online learning. Is there an overview or demo of the online learning tools?
I don't know the answer to that, Cheryl.
You know, I don't think that we necessarily offer a demo course. There is on our website an orientation page for new students, and I think that there are some tutorial videos regarding, how to use uh, Blackboard, how to, navigate within your class. So I'll say that those resources are available on our website. The other thing that I'll say is that it's a very user-friendly environment. And Tim, do you want to talk a little bit about how the content is organized? Like if you, as an online student, how is the content divided? How much time in a week are you spending on your coursework? Things like that.
Yeah, sure. So I'll also say that the commercial company Blackboard. You've heard Cheryl and I talk about Blackboard. That's one of the tools that we use. They are in the business of making that part of the educational experience completely transparent and not a problem for how we're doing our education. So it is very easy. The first week of your first course, there is a little learning curve there while you just sort of figure out where things are. You'll come into the course. It'll be organized with a sidebar. Here's how to email. Here's where the syllabus is. Here's the course outline. Here's where the discussion board is. All that, as Cheryl said, is just super, super intuitive. But the instructors and the other students are always there to help. And so if you can't find something, what a lot of folks will do, and I would encourage you to do the same, don't spend a lot of time, fumbling around. If you can't find it, just send a note and let's get your eyes right where they need to be. Depending on the course, I don't think it's unrealistic. 6 to 8 hours a week you're going to spend on your academics, studying, reading, reflecting, writing. You'll find in the online environment it's very heavy on the written communications because that's your primary means of communicating. We have what's called discussion boards. Typically every week the instructor posts a question and asks everyone to reflect on the question, then respond to it, and then respond to a number of your colleagues who are posting their thoughts to sort of start this conversation. It generally evolves pretty good, and it's not as stilted as you might think it is, but it does require you to really think your way through it so that you're very clear in your written communications, which is excellent practice for what's going to happen as you advance in your careers. The ability to write clearly, to demonstrate clarity in thinking, is absolutely essential to further promotions and increased responsibility. So this is a great way to do it.
All right. I think that we have about 3 more questions, 2 of which I'll answer really quickly. And I'll also say that a couple of people have, we've generally answered these particular questions, but a couple of people have typed in more personal questions about, here's my background, here are my goals, would this degree be a good fit for me? And Tim, if it's okay with you, I'd love to send you basically all of the questions from tonight's presentation so that you can just respond to those via email, those kind of more personal questions. Is that okay?
That would be wonderful. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. All right. Final 3 questions. And some of these are the first 2. The reason why I'm going to answer them real quick is that we discussed them a little earlier in the presentation. Is the GRE required for admissions? No, it is not. We do not require GRE scores for admissions. What is the total cost of the degree? Our current tuition cost for a 3-credit course is $4,250 per course. And we are encouraging, just because our tuition fluctuates due to inflation, we're encouraging students to budget $45,000 total for the cost of their degree. Final question, would it be possible to take 3 courses per semester? Tim?
Yeah, so yes, it's possible. Tim Collins does not recommend that. we have found that for students that are working, that are doing their academics, that have family or personal responsibilities, that need some downtime, that 1 or 2 is really about the best you can do. We have found by the time if you think about it, if you were to take 3 classes, you could be spending up to 30 hours a week just on your academics. You're working 40 hours, right there 70, you can see it adds up pretty fast. So we recommend 1 to 2. Some students, they like to take a term off, and that generally is the summer term because they're taking vacations and other things like that. But I think the majority, they take 1 every term, and they just keep going and don't stop, get into the rhythm. You can work on it from anywhere. So, it is a bummer working on it in vacation, but, you can work around those things. So it is possible to take 3. It's not recommended.
And if you take 1 course per semester and stay continuously enrolled, you can complete in a semester over 3 years. So that's what that time frame would be.
Yeah, excellent.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this evening, for spending an hour of your evening with us, for staying engaged despite some technical issues that we had earlier in the presentation. We really appreciate your time, your consideration, and all of your great questions. Tim, thank you so very much for your time this evening and for discussing these programs.
My apologies to everyone for my technical issues.
That's not a problem. If anyone has any follow-up questions, you can feel free to email Tim, or you can just respond to the email that you received this evening with your connection information for this session. If you respond to that email, it'll go straight to me. And my email address, otherwise, is cheryl.williams@jhu.edu. Thank you again, and we look forward to hearing from you again soon.